Saturday, May 4th, UFC is going to have UFC event 301. It's going to headline with Alexander Pantoja versus Steve Urceg. Before we get into UFC 301 and the matchups, I want to say why the UFC probably doesn't reward Brazil with a great card. The main argument is that UFC 301 in Brazil is a bad card. You have it headlined with Alexander Pantoja versus Steven Urceg. Steve Urceg is someone that isn't known by the fans. He has 25,000 followers. This is not going to sell the fight. Alexander Pantoja was booed at his last performance versus Brandon Royval because he just wasn't fighting. He was just laying on Brandon Royval for 2 minutes while he was getting outstruck on the feet. So I don't know, man. It's not a great card. Because, man, Brazil, their fan base, they don't even deserve a pay-per-view sometimes, honestly. The last pay-per-view they had was last year, and it had Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. And that was Glover Teixeira's retirement fight. During his homage, Glover Teixeira was booed by Brazilian fans. It was empty. What was going on? No respect was shown to Glover Teixeira. No respect was shown to Brandon Moreno on the co-main event, who defeated a Brazilian fighter in Davison Figueiredo. What? Like, what kind of fans are y'all? Like, come on, man. Kobe Covington says that, Brazil, you're a dump. You fucking suck. You're a bunch of fucking filthy animals. Probably said that for more than he did, but honestly, like, to a certain extent, it's kind of true, man. A lot of Brazilian fans, they can be toxic. And I'm not saying that all Brazilian fans, are this. Like, it's a small majority that are like, great people. But no, a lot of Brazilian fans, they are insane. Like, they live, die UFC, and they have a strong favorite fighter in the UFC. And you see a lot of this with Charles Oliveira. Man, you saw someone try to fight Arman Sarukian. It was a Brazilian fan. A lot of Brazilian fans take this to the extreme. They don't even respect their own fighters more often than not. Because, I don't know. I think a lot of them are desensitized to all the fighters that they have. Brazil has one of the most champions in any country around the world. And even active champions. You have Alex Pereira, Alexandre Pantoja. Like, you have multiple Brazilian champions. So they had a champion, Charles Oliveira. So, man, it's just second nature for them to be this dominant. So I don't think they really care. They don't really stick with their fighters as much as, like, other countries, especially from, like, Wales. Everyone from Wales is going to cheer on anyone from Wales. Because, again, like, they're so small, such a small society, that they're going to be unified together with one another, Other than, like, the U.S., you're going to have, not every American's going to root for Sean Strickland, So, yeah. The main issue is, will UFC 301 receive a savior in Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev saving their card at the main event? Because, to be honest, Alexander Pantoja versus Steve Urceg should not be a main event. Steve Urceg is ranked number 10 in the rankings. He is not someone who I think that deserves a title shot. And honestly, I don't think the fans think that either. I don't think anyone's saying that Steve Urceg, he's a true number one contender. He had just his third fight in the UFC a couple months ago. Is he good? Yeah. Do I think he's going to beat Alexander Pantoja? Yeah. Do I really mean that? No. I really don't know what to say. I like Steve Urceg. He's cool. Nice guy. But I don't know. He's not someone that's going to sell the fight, especially for the casual fans. No one's going to look at the number 10 ranked opponent and think, oh yeah, I need to watch him. I need to check him out. No, man. This can go on a fucking fight night at this point. So, I don't know, man. Steve Urceg, again, only has 25k followers and just started releasing merchandise with, like, The Office on it. And, like, Astro Boy, I'm thinking back to. So, I really don't know. I like Alexander Pantoja. He's actually a great guy. As much as I am saying, like, oh, he's gonna lose. I don't know, man. I'm not really a big fan of his fight style. But he's a nice guy. I saw him in the Children's Hospital. So, I do gotta pay homage to that. But, other than that, man, I'm at a loss. UFC 301 needs saving. It is a bad card. Especially following UFC 300. How are you supposed to have UFC 300 then UFC 301 following it up? It is such a letdown. Like, my posture has changed. My, like, enthusiasm for the entire card has changed just mentioning this. Like, I don't know, it's just not a card that no one is enthusiastic by. No one is excited to watch Jonathan Martinez on the co-main event. So I don't fucking care. But I'm there for John Silva and Steve Urceg, honestly. The issue with Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev is that Ankalaev just finished Ramadan. We don't know if he's really in tip-top shape to fight as soon as possible. The main issue is, man, I don't even think he's really a man enough to do it. Ankalaev is not willing to fight Alex Pereira on 5 weeks' notice, especially the way he just dismantled Jamal Hill. It is honestly astonishing to me how he destroyed Jamal Hill. Because honestly, the way Jamal Hill was just so arrogant, you would think the fight would be better. But no, man, it was short. It was not, to my expectations. Not saying it was a bad fight, but it was just not what I thought. Not what I thought. So, yeah. The next fight on the card is going to be Jose Aldo versus Jonathan Martinez. The first thing I want to say is Jose Aldo is returning after, 2 years layoff against, he last fought Merab Dvalishvili. Man, and he got manhandled by Merab. Like, Merab is just known for his marauding, just grappling you, taking you down. He may not even getting the takedown, but he has the pace. He's going to keep going forward regardless. So, man, I don't know. I think with people like you see Peter Yan, he had PTSD. Like, you would see Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. Man, he kept getting flashbacks to Merab. And every time Song Yadong would just flash for a takedown, he would jump, he would panic, he would try to stuff it as soon as possible. And he was getting a reaction. I want to see if that would happen against Jose Aldo. And man, is Jose Aldo willing to fight? I don't know. I recently just saw him promoting crypto and doing all this stuff. I don't really know what it's really for. It's crypto in Brazil. Maybe it's really just trying to advertise crypto in Brazil if he's trying to expand that market. But what it really shows me is that he may just be broke. Maybe he's getting back into fighting, or that Merab loss showed hey, Merab is now a #1 contender. So maybe I still have it in me, but I don't know if he really will. He's fighting number 14, Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez is known for his leg kick TKOs. So he's a great guy, kicking the calf, destroy your legs. And a 37-year-old Jose Aldo, is he going to be able to handle it? I don't know if he is. I doubt it, man. Jonathan Martinez is young. I don't think he can really do anything but really kick. He seems just like a Muay Thai guy. I'm looking at his fights. Yeah. He's nothing really special. So, is it really a great fight for Jose Aldo to come back? Because I know he's getting paid. He is a former champ. He is a Hall of Famer. So he's getting a bag. But does this really get that much money for the UFC? I don't really know. I really don't know. UFC 301 is just a lackluster of a card. And I don't know, man. There's not much to say to it. It's not the best. It's not what you think. It's not what you want. You don't want UFC 301, but it's there. You don't want to pay for it, but you're going to, right? Definitely not going to stream it. So, I want to say, that fight, I don't know, man. I'm not really too excited for it. Jose Aldo is not really grabbing my attention. I don't know. We haven't seen him in 2 years, so the only thing, again, is looking forward to is Jose Aldo, but we don't know what to expect. So, I don't know. That's it. I don't know what to expect. Next fight on the card is Michael Pereira versus Makhmud Muradov. Sorry, that's a mouthful. Michael Pereira in his last outing got a standing guillotine. I can't remember his opponent, but in the first round he looks impressive. He changed weight classes ever since, from welterweight to middleweight, and man, he's a different fighter. I really do want to emphasize that. I think the welterweight skill is definitely gapped anyone above them, obviously, and we see that with any lower weight class. When they move up, they have the speed, they have more skill, they have the better grappling. And first thing I want to say is that we just finished UFC 300. Max Holloway, you saw the skill, man. I know a lot of people were thinking Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. Man, Max was gonna lose. Max was gonna get beat. It was gonna be the next Tony Ferguson, but we didn't see that. Justin Gaethje might be the next Tony Ferguson for all we know. He's not gonna be the same. That guy has CTA for forever, man. Come on, that doesn't go away. And I don't think he should go back into it because he's known for violence. So, yeah, he's gonna get a violent opponent and become Tony Ferguson. Yeah, so I have to say about that. But anyways, when you have a lower weight class guy moving up, they have skill. And Michael Pereira has skill, and he's fighting another unranked nobody. He's gonna be ranked. He's gonna be a contender. He's gonna be entertaining. So, man, as good to see him on UFC 301, especially he knows that he's gonna defeat this guy. He knows that getting back into it is only gonna shoot him to the sky. Cause he's confident. He knows he's gonna win. I know he's gonna win. If I'm betting on a parlay, I'm betting it on him. Michael Pereira is great. And following that, you have Anthony Smith versus Vito Petrino. Man, Vito Petrino has joined the UFC after USADA. And I don't know if any of you have seen Vito Petrino. That guy is sauced to the gills. Like, he is on steroids. No way, he's definitely not on steroids. Like, you see some of these MMA guys, and some of them are just straight jacked. There is no way you can achieve that physique by doing CrossFit training, meaning UFC. UFC, you gotta have cardio, you gotta have movement, you gotta have agility, you gotta have, like, a slimmer build more often than not. No way you're this juiced. I have no idea how he makes 205. I hate sounding like Joe Rogan saying that about fucking Pereira, but honestly, man, he's on sauce. There's no doubt about it. I think a lot of these Brazilians are definitely on sauce too. Like, they're in the favelas. Man, USADA, whoever it is not gonna want to go to the favelas and get their life threatened over a drug test, a piss test, a blood test, whatever it is. They're going to get sent home in a body bag. Let's be real. So, and Anthony Smith, the most delusional, like, fighter ever. On paper, he's better than John Jones. If you know, you know. He said John Jones, without his legs, without his arms, is not a good striker, is not a good wrestler. No shit, Anthony Smith. No shit. Anyways, I don't know. Anthony Smith, do I think he's going to beat Vito Petrino? No. He lost to Khalil Roundtree, and then he beat Anthony Spann before that. Anthony Spann win was kind of good. I'm not going to lie. I was looking at Anthony Smith and thinking, how did he beat him? How did he beat Ryan Spann? But the more I looked into it, Ryan Spann is dumb. Like, he has no fight IQ. Like, he's a great striker. He has all the tools. Like, he has the physical capabilities. He just can't put it all together. And with Anthony Smith, he's a veteran, man. Like, it's hard to want to bet against him because for a while, you forget that he was on the upper type echelon of light heavyweight. He fought John Jones, so I don't know. And Vito Petrino, man, I don't really believe the hype. I think he's just a sauced up guy who's gonna just knock him out. But that's the point. So he's sauced up. He's on the juice. He's drugged up. He's gonna beat the shit out of Anthony Smith. And maybe Anthony Smith can finally go back to his analyst job and practice on that. Honestly, he's a bad analyst. Like, the John Jones thing I just mentioned is honestly crack. Like, you need to lay off the crack. I don't know what to tell you. I'm disappointed. The CTE has definitely ruined the way he has been as an analyst. Like, I don't know. He's lost. And man, honestly, from here, I'm gonna just breeze by it. Because there's no notable names, no notable prospects, no notable personalities to really pay into in UFC 301, other than maybe Ty Barajo, and I don't even know much about him. That's why I'm not going to dissect, because he's fighting Paul Craig. And if he doesn't get submitted in Paul Craig, maybe we have some aspirations, because Paul Craig, people forget, he submitted Jamal Hill. Like, he is the reason why Jamal Hill has a blemish on his record. So, Paul Craig, he can get a fluky win, and I really don't know much about Kyle Barajo. I don't even know if he really should be a ranked number 15 middleweight. I said that like a toddler. Jesus Christ. But yeah. And then you have Joe Anderson, Brito, and Jack Shore. Who? I don't know who these featherweights are. Yeah, same thing with the like main prelim fight. But what I want to skip to is I don't know if y'all can see this, man. Mike Tybeck Drolabai. He looks like a prehistoric human. Have you seen the memes? I hope you've seen the memes. He looks like a prehistoric human. He's good. He has a chin, just like a prehistoric human. He has a chin. He has a chin like a prehistoric human. He's a great striker, and he's fighting another prehistoric human in Elvis Brenner. These guys have fucked up phases, I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. Honestly, the only reason to look at them, they look funny. It's a meme. And yeah, it might be entertaining. But the real prospect to look out for, the real guy, is Gene Silva versus William Gomis. Gene Silva, on the prelims? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you, UFC? I'm sorry. How are you gonna have some how are you gonna have a no-name featherweight on the main card, but you can't have Gene Silva on the fucking main card? He's a great featherweight. Did you not see him dispatch like the guy he just fought? He beat the shit out of him. And he was just like, whoo, 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 whoo. He didn't even say shit. He just whoo, whoo for 3 minutes. And I'm still a fan. I don't know. I'm into it. And I swear to God, dude, this little 5'6", short, stocky, buff man beat the shit out of this 5'10" lengthy guy. And I was underestimating him because I didn't know who he was. He was in the UFC prior to that fight. And he was a heavily favorite. He was the preferred favorite, minus like 600. And you knew why. He fucking destroyed him from the first round to the fucking 3-minute mark. Like, he destroyed him. Like, you didn't even know why the other guy was in the UFC. Man, he really was destroyed. Like, I felt bad. Like, I felt like you should have just, like, tapped out. Like, after just being struck, like, all day. Gene Silva, man, a real personality. I love the glasses. I love the interview. Yeah. And William Gomis, I don't have much to say. I don't know. I gotta do more research, honestly. So yeah, but I'm still a fan of the UFC. Still gonna stick by him. Still gonna watch the card. Still gonna be entertaining, I bet. So yeah, keep watching the content. This has been MMA Plug, and yeah, appreciate y'all, love y'all, and have a great day and great tomorrow.